guys, so you might have seen Abby's last video where she gave some dating advice. Well, I may not have very much experience in dating, but if there's one thing that I have experience in, unfortunately, it's third wheeling. So, instead of dating advice video, I'm gonna show a third wheeling advice video. Personally, I have way more experience than I'd ever like to admit in third wheeling. Like, honestly, okay, you know how some people would say, like, they'd have, like, what their job is, like, John Smith, sales associate, or, Mary Jones, actress, whatever. I am Kayla, the third wheeler, because literally, I don't just go on a few dates on the weekend every once in a while as a third wheel. I literally live the life of a third wheeler. Probably 3/4 of my friends have boyfriends or girlfriends, and I'm constantly around them, so it's like, I live the life of a third wheeler. But since I have to deal with that on a daily basis, I've learned to not only make it tolerable, but you can also have some fun with it. And so, here are some tips on tolerating it and having fun. Now, people say that third wheeling is hard because, for several reasons, but the main reason is you have to be there, like, with your friends while they're making out or holding hands, and even if they're not doing anything, like, physically or anything, you kind of know that they have a special connection that you don't. And people say it's jealousy, and frankly, yes, it is jealousy. You're not necessarily jealous of them, like you're not jealous of the guy your friend is with, or vice versa, but you're just jealous of their happiness, basically. And it's really hard to deal with. I know this personally. Like, my friends, when I hang out with them, and I see them, like, holding hands, it's like, oh yeah, maybe I'll have that one day. Now, people say, like, when your friends are trying, your friends will understand your pain. They know that you're alone, and they're with someone, and they're trying to help you. But it really doesn't help when they're like, oh, don't worry about it. You'll find someone someday. You're 16, 15, 17. You got some time. You're gonna find someone one day. It doesn't really help. It's like, thank you for telling me that while you're, like, 12 and you've got a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you're like, oh yeah, I had a really good time with my boyfriend at the movies last weekend. Or, oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to these plans with my girlfriend tonight. Like, it's like, thank you for, like, oh yeah, you'll find someone when you freaking got someone right there that you're making out with in front of me. Oh, cool. Sorry that I'm interfering. You want me to go away and you can console me in a few hours? Fine. As I said before, though, third wheeling isn't all bad. Honestly, like, sometimes I, like, look forward to it. It's like, hey, I'm gonna have fun with this one. But sometimes, okay, third wheelers have a job that if the date becomes awkward and there's like an awkward silence or they don't really know what to talk with it about, you kind of have to put some conversation in, or you have to talk to one of them. Big tip here. Don't talk, if it's at all possible, don't just talk to one person, because you're going to make that person feel like they have to choose between the third wheel and their date. Big no. You need, if it's at all possible, either don't talk and just walk with them, sit there, whatever, or try to talk to both. Better talk to both so that the person who brought you along doesn't feel as bad for bringing you, so that they know, they'll at least give them, like, a sense that you're having a good time. Even if you're not, try to, at least for your friend. Next piece of advice is, hopefully you're not brought on a really, like, mushy, lovey date. I actually somehow have escaped that experience so far, though it's bound to happen, you wait. But usually it's just kind of like a big hangout. But like I said before, it's just kind of knowing that there's that special connection that you don't have. So there's always that sense of jealousy. But if you can, like, just honestly pretend like it is a big hangout. If it's at all possible, just ignore the fact that they're dating and just pretend this is a big group. Hopefully you're friends with both your friend and their date. Because if you don't like their date, or the date doesn't like you, there will be issues that arrive, and I've had to deal with that as well. If it is like a mushy, romantic date that they're on, and you have the major misfortune of having to be along with them, a tip that I would use, and I've even haven't had to use this, like on a day where I'm particularly feeling jealous. Okay, stick with me here. While they're making out, or holding hands, or hugging, or whatever, try to envision something that you like a YouTuber, or a book, or a movie, or something, and kind of focus on that. Like, really think about a scene, or like a certain video, or something, so that you're focused on something else instead of the making out that is going on right next to you. Big tip along to go with that one, though. You can, but I wouldn't personally, like, fantasize about someone that you being with, because in the end, that's just going to depress you, because you're going to be like, oh, but I don't have that, and they have that, and it's just going to be a big mess. I would seriously focus on something that is not romantic. Another tip, bring someone along if you can. Like, bring an extra friend. Be like, to the friend who invited you, or you're there, like, you're hanging out, and they invite their boyfriend, whatever. Be like, hey, can I invite so-and-so? Because then you're not alone, so you're not a third wheel. You got an extra little wheel in there to buddy up with while they're hanging out and hugging or whatever. You got a little buddy to talk to, and then it's not as awkward. And if they don't let you, for whatever reason, like, let's say you're trying to keep the group as small as possible, just kind of go with the other tips. But if you can at all, like, seriously, invite someone else. When that has happened to me, it has been freaking fantastic, and it is a lot easier to pretend it's more like a group and a hangout than like your third wheeling. Another tip, and this is where the fun comes in. On many a dates, I've gotten myself in so much trouble because I've had fun with it. Yes, you can be the quiet little third wheel who kind of minds your own business and tries to not really be there. Or you can have some fun with it, and you can make the person who brought you along pay. I do not recommend this. It has turned out very badly for me, but you can have some fun with it. Like, to basically sum up how to have fun with it, you embarrass the crap out of the person who freaking brought you along. You just freaking embarrass them. It is the funniest thing ever. For example, like, one time, this wasn't even on purpose. I swear on my life, I was not trying to embarrass them. So I was on a date, and it was, like, basically their first date, and they were there, and I thought they were, like, their date was gonna leave. So, me being the clever person that I am, I said, hey, you two should kiss. Found out later that they were about to kiss, apparently. I swear they were not even, like, looking at each other. They were, like, going their separate ways. Apparently, they were about to kiss. And it is still a running joke with me and my friend. Like, they are never going to let go of it. But basically, you just can embarrass them or do something along those lines. I have an unfortunate habit of doing that all the time anyway. Like, it's not a conscious thing, like, I'm going to embarrass my friend today. Like, it just happens. Because I don't know why. I think it's just like a subconscious thing, like, I'm going to have some fun with this. Like I said, though, I do not recommend that, because in the end, you're on this date or just at lunch with them because you're being with your friends. You're not trying to embarrass them. You're there for support, usually, unless they bring... Usually, you're there for support for your friend, and you don't want to embarrass them. You're trying to be a good friend in the first place. This is just doubling back and not being a good friend in the end. So just do that on an occasion where you're especially miserable. Which on that one occasion I was. If you knew the story, you would understand. But those are basically some of the few tips that I would have for third wheelers. My heart goes out to the whole of the world who has to third wheel. I live it on a daily basis. Every day, on the weekends, school days, everything. I just freaking live the life, and I feel you. So that was basically my advice video for third wheelers. Feel free to leave questions down in the comment or inbox me some questions if you ever have any questions about third wheeling. I would love to share my advice. I could probably answer any questions you have. Please feel free. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like it. Okay, see you guys next time. Oh, one last thing. I read a great quote once. Catrific, she's a great YouTuber. Go check her videos out. She tweeted this quote out once. I don't know where she got the actual quote from, but it's great to go along with this video. If you ever feel like a third wheel, stop. You are not a third wheel. You are a majestic unicycle, and they're your noble training wheels.